What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to Trading Learning 101. It is episode 4 of the weekend market recap, where we go over the stock market sectors, going over the week of May 13th through the 17th. Let's jump into it. So here I got how the market sectors performed throughout the week. With the top 3 market sectors, real estate was number 1 this week, gaining 1.3%, utilities in second, consumer staples in third place, and the 3 worst sectors this week. Number 1 being financials, second from last industrials, and third consumer discretionary. So with the market sectors going forward, with the market weekend recaps, I'm only going to do a very fast recap of the sectors. I'm not going to get too in depth with them. I'm just going to do a quick rundown and put my opinions on them. So first, let's go over the utility sector. As I zoom in on this, we just broke above this trendline resistance right here. I like how we've been grinding off this 50-day moving average as support. Utilities has been very strong this past week, exploding to the upside on the intraday chart right here on Monday, 2-day consolidation, quick up move there again, and then Friday just grinding up very, very good. I'm very bullish on utilities going into next week. I really like how we've been bouncing right off this support here, all right in here. And we just touched all-time new highs. Very bullish on utilities and looking forward to break out to all-time new highs going into next week. Next up, we got real estate. Again, I'm bullish on real estate. I was drawing a wedge on this recently, a descending wedge. It finally broke out of that descending wedge, came right up to the all-time high right here. I'm looking for a nice breakout to the upside. We could get a minor pullback back down to this bottom resistance line and then shoot right up to make new highs. All-time highs for real estate. Looking very, very nice for real estate. So real estate and utilities are going to be my top sectors going into next week. And this is the intraday on real estate. Each day this week, just grinding up and up and up. Friday was this really only weekday. I'd call this a choppy range day, but I think it's just resting before its explosion to the upside. Next, we got the healthcare sector. The healthcare sector has just been on fire lately. A lot of stocks that have been popping up have been in the healthcare. Healthcare is always active. Really nice bounce this week up to this 89 level right here. It could really go either way. It could break up above 89 and keep going, or we could get a pullback back down to this 86 level right here. It's going to be interesting to see how healthcare turns out next week. And we can even draw a new trend line as it's getting tighter and tighter. I like how the 100-day is approaching the 50-day for a nice squeeze above the 50-day. Healthcare is still looking nice and healthy, in my opinion. Here's the intraday on healthcare. Consolidation here on Monday. Nice grind here on Tuesday. Gap down Wednesday. Surges up. Really nice surge here on Thursday, but then gave back over half of what it surged up there in the morning. And then Friday, same thing. Nice morning surge there, and then gave back half of what it gained that morning. But I think the healthcare is looking pretty healthy, in my opinion, going into next week. Next up is consumer staples, approaching all-time new highs here. If I zoom out on this at 59, coming right up to it, but I'm bearish on consumer staples going into the next week. I would like to see a nice pullback back down to this 57, 56, 50 area, and then start to make its move on up from that area. But consumer staples is looking good overall. I'm just bearish on it going into next week. Here's the intraday on consumer staples. At the beginning of the week here, we had consolidation Monday, nice up move Tuesday, nice up move Wednesday, and then Thursday it had a gap up, and this is where it seemed to put its top in, right at 58.20. And you could see there, it started to reverse as it's starting to make its way on down and start to trend down. So look for this 57, I'm going to say 57.60 level for support. If it breaks through that, that's confirming it's trending down, and we're just going to get a pullback before it comes back up and possibly test and break out to all-time new highs. Next up is materials. I really don't know about materials. It's in a weird spot right now. As you can see, it's right in between. It's 200-day moving average and it's 100-day moving average. It did look like it started to stabilize right here at 53.60s. I don't know, because 55.50 has been resistance for it, with it hitting it right here and right here. Keep an eye on this 55.50 area. This does look like it's forming a nice wedge. If it gets above this 55.50, its next resistance is going to be right at 56. So it doesn't really have much room to break out. But that's the next level that it's going to run up to, possibly. Going all the way back right there, because it has a lot of action at that level. All right here where I'm plotting out. I'm just going to take a stab at it and say I'm going to be bullish on materials going into next week, getting above this 200-day and working its way up to this 56 level. That's what I'm going to say, but that's my opinion. Here's the intraday on materials. Really not much. This was the high it made on Friday. We had that big gap down. It worked its way about 3/4 of the way up, and then it's coming right back down. The positive note, though, on materials is it formed higher lows throughout the week. Next up, we got financials. I'm bullish on financials. It looks like we're starting to base out right here. And what I also like is we're right at a base where the 200-day moving average and the 50-day moving average is. We are getting a convergence, it looks like right here, as the 50-day, the 200-day, and the 300-day are all right in this level right here. So it's going to be interesting to see how this plays out. I'm bullish on financials to get a pop and start moving its way back on up to this 27.50 level. But if it breaks below these, look for it to come down to this 26 level. Now that I look at the intraday here on the financials, it is looking pretty toppy on the intraday, as it's topping out right there, and right there. Makes me want to change my mind on being bullish on financials going into next week, and it could keep dropping, because this is a sign right here that it really can't hold above 27. But we'll see going into next week if this can get above and hold above 27 to show strength. Next up, we got communications. I'm bearish on communications. You can see right here, Monday, it gapped down just below the 50-day, bottomed out right here, and we had a nice trend up Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, right up to almost this 50 level. So with this nice bounce right here, I'm bearish, as I'm thinking it's gonna want to retrace back down. But if this can get above and hold above 50, I would look for 50 to hold as the new support and start working its way back on up. This 50 level is a really important level for it, as you can see right there. When we had that gap down to right here, it was all resistance right here, had a big sell-off, comes all the way back up. It's having trouble holding above that 50 level. Here's the intraday on communications. Big gap down Monday, sold off. Nice rainbow here on Tuesday, Just a big explosion here on Wednesday. Nice grind up spike here Thursday. Puts in a rainbow effect. Gaps down Friday. And just pretty much just straight up and down here on Friday. Couldn't even break above Thursday's high here at 49.60. Next up, we got consumer discretionary. And just like communications, I'm bearish on consumer discretionary, as this week it bottomed right here and it moved its way on up and over the 50-day moving average, and it does look like it's holding above that 50-day moving average, but I'm looking to see a pullback right back down. Or I could be totally wrong, and this 50-day could hold as support and it could just keep grinding its way on up. It did recently make all-time new highs right here at around 120. The 100-day just crossed above the 200-day. So I'm going to say a slight pullback and they'll bounce higher up above this 118 level and start working its way on up to the all-time highs right here. This chart's looking good. Here's the intraday. Monday it sold off. Tuesday it grinded up. Same thing Wednesday. Also made a new high on the week. Had a good gap up Thursday. Nice grind up right here. Gave back half of what it gained. Then it closed. Same thing. And then Friday, this just did a big rainbow. Had a nice morning surge up. Couldn't hold its gains and gave back everything. And pretty much closed where it started the day. So this is my thesis right here with this double top and it not being able to hold its gains. Look at how quickly it spiked up right there and then it sold off really hard. So I'm going to look for a pullback back down to this level. Next up we got technology. Technology has just been on fire lately. Look at this, just this huge, just kept from the lows right here, just kept grinding up and up and up and up and up. And we recently got a pullback on the technology sector. I still think the technology sector is strong, but going into next week, I'm looking at the technology sector to be bearish. Again, Monday it had a gap down right here, closed the day red. Then ever since Monday, it just grinded right back up to this level right here where it closed last Friday. So I'm going to look for a pullback, make a higher low from right here, and then push up through this level to come back up to all-time highs. Technology has really been on fire. And again, here's the intraday on technology, the sell-off here on Monday, and then after that, even with the overall market, just grinded up. Great strength all of last week. But this is where it leads me to its pullback. You got your top here from Friday. It comes right up to it. Couldn't really break above it. Friday, it couldn't post a high from the previous day. Could not hold its gains right there. So I'm expecting a nice little pullback on technology. Next one we got here is energy. Looks like energy's trying to base here right at 63. So consolidating currently from 63 to 65 right here. But what we also have is we have the 13 EMA crossing below the 100 EMA. We have the 200-day trending down, the 50-day trending down, the 100 days going sideways, looking like it's wanting to curve up. But until this can break from its range, it's looking like it's consolidating currently right now from 63 to 65. So for energy, I'm neutral. Here's the intraday for energy. Sell off here on Monday. Tuesday, nice grind. Gives back half of what it gained in the morning. Wednesday had just a nice grind all day. Thursday, it put its high in for the week. And then after that, it was just downhill as it started to trend down. Friday was just choppiness, making a new low, and closing weak. Alright, the last one we got here is the industrials. Going into next week, just like energy, I'm neutral on industrials, as I think it's in a range right now. I do like how we have the 300-day, the 200-day, and the 100-day all at this 73, 74 level for a base. And we even had support right here. But what I see here at 76, we got the 50-day and the 300 and the 13 EMA right there. So until this can break above 76, I'm just neutral on this. I think this is currently just consolidating before its next move. And here's the intraday for the industrials. Monday, it's sell off. Tuesday, grinds up. Gives back a quarter of what it gained in the morning. Gap down, grinds up. Choppiness going into the close. Thursday, nice grind up, and then choppiness going into the close. Friday, this didn't know what it wanted to do at first. As you could see here, right in the morning, it was just real choppy. It didn't know if it wanted to go up or down. Then it finally decided it wanted to move up, and then just fails. And then gets a nice bounce, and then just failed really bad right there. Making a new low on the day, closing below where it opened. I really feel like the industrials doesn't know what it wants to do. So it's going to consolidate. But that's my opinion. That's going to wrap it up for this market recap, guys. Episode 4. If you guys like the video, please hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and join the Trading Learning 101 community. And until next time, guys, have that patience, have that discipline, and study, study, study. All right. Later, everyone.